Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. It's the big board. It's the NFL 2026 pre-draft best ball tournament. 200K to first, 2 million in prizes, and about a quarter million entrants. We're getting into these streets tonight. We're going to draft a few big boards. We're going to talk about some of the great picks, at ADP and what we're seeing early on. And we're going to get right into it. So if you're new to the channel or if you're watching this later in the future, make sure you're subscribed. I've got a goal to hit 1,000 subs before the start of the NFL season. I think we can do it, but I need your help. So get in here, make sure you like the stream, jump in the chat, say what up, come draft some teams with the garage community. Let's have some fun. Without further ado, I'm going to kick it to the intro. I'm going to jump into a big board draft right now. So if you want to draft with me, go ahead and hit enter now. 20-second pick clock. On the other side of the intro, I'll see y'all with the draft board. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like actions speak louder than words. Heyo, how we doing? What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday night. Hope you had a good Friday. Hope you've had a good start to the weekend. I'm feeling pretty sore. I went to the gym and played way too much basketball, so my feet are aching, and that's just how it goes. Ball so hard. Ball is life. Go hard in the paint. So I'm feeling it right now. I feel like I needed to probably stretch a little bit more before I started. I was going to do a basketball warm-up, ended up playing basketball for almost 2 hours. But I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be here. Rip another big board draft. I haven't done any other ones today. I've got a few slows going, but I'm excited to get in here and something I pulled together. So you guys know I share my Google Sheets with channel members. All you have to do is become a premium channel member here, a monthly YouTube membership, and you can request access to any of my Google Sheets, whether it's PGA or it's NFL. I'll share them all with you. Let me do this. Boom. Okay. So I've been tracking ADP. This is something we've been doing. I've got my risers highlighted in the orange. I've got the ADPs from the first week we're here. I've got how the positional rank has changed. So Saquon Barkley, when this thing opened, he was RB7 and he's RB8. 3 days later, he's RB9. Another 3 days later. So Saquon's been falling a little bit. He gets jumped by guys like Amarian Hampton and Ashton Genty. So we've had this data. We pulled this in. I've got the percentile of the snaps they played. So Bijan Robinson was 92nd percentile in snaps played among skill position players and quarterbacks. So the fantasy positions that we care about last season. Then you guys have known that I've been tracking this, the running back data. I've recently put together the wide receiver data from 2025. What this is here, this is the percent of games last season that Bijan Robinson was elite, where he had 20 plus fantasy points in half PPR. So 50% of the time he was scoring 20. Is that right? Let me go back. I just brought this data in. That seems too high. No, it is true. Wow. Incredible. I mean, he was averaging 20 points a game. Sometimes you just forget. But this is the data I've had for a long time. I've merged it with the data on the big board. All right. So Bijan, 20 plus fantasy points last season in half of his games. In 8 of his games, he had more than 20 points. 63% of those, more than 17 points. 81% of the time, he scored more than 13 points, AKA he was hitting your lineup. He was in your flex. Also, 81% of the time, he was more than 10 points. So there were still 19% of games where Bijan scored less than 10 fantasy points. But this is one thing I'm going to be using because it allows us to know how often a player is going to hit your flex, at least how often they would hit your flex last year. I'm thinking 13 points is a cutoff for a flex. 10 is just too low for my liking. I've also got the average fantasy points. We've got their max fantasy points. their touches per game, which is just either a combination of receptions and rushing attempts for both the wide receivers and the running backs. We're picking from the 3 spot here. I'm pretty sure I do wanna go Puka, but let's pop over and look at the data. So, right, for Puka, I mean, as far as the wide receivers go, Puka's here, number 2. Super high floor, great ceiling, max with 40 points, average 19 points. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But Puka, but then, when I'm considering taking a wide receiver or running back in the early to middle rounds, I think this data is going to come in handy because I can start to look at. I'm expecting Puka to be in my lineup in 80% of my games in the upcoming season. I think he's also going to be elite in a third of those. So later on, as we get to players, it's like if they're only hitting your lineup maybe 50% of the time or 25% of the time, start to factor that in and decide how many more players in a certain position group you want to draft. So obviously we could always do like a 3-7-7-3 build, but if I've got a Puka now, I've got my wide receiver 1 spot filled 80% of the time. So maybe I don't necessarily need, to go as hard on wide receiver knowing this. Average points per game, that'll also help across position groups. And then their max score, their touches per game, like I said, their ADP movement. I don't have this for the tight ends. I don't have it for the quarterbacks. And obviously, I don't have it for the rookies who don't have any historical data last season or players who missed the entire last season with injury. But one guy that stands out to me, CeeDee Lamb, I'm going to be fading him in the first round. He only scored more than 20 points one time last season. And just he clearly stands out as having the lowest average fantasy points per game, the lowest max score last season. I only played 13 games, but still, like there's guys like Achan, there's guys like James Cook that I'm gonna want. There's Amon-Ra that I'm gonna want ahead of CeeDee Lamb. I think he can bounce back, but that's what changed last season. Well, George Pickens came to town, and so George Pickens took over and really had a nice season. Had almost a third of his games with more than 20 fantasy points. So I think that's going to be a similar story going into 2026. George Pickens, I'm assuming they're going to re-sign him. He's going to come back to the Cowboys, and CeeDee Lamb is taking, a hit there with his fantasy production. So just things to keep in mind and more data for us to look at. Again, if you become a YouTube member, if you join the inner circle, if you want to get the Lamborghini emojis that you can flood in the chat, then become a member today, a monthly member, and you get access. You can shoot me an email at my fantasyfootballgarage@gmail.com, or you could DM me on Twitter if you follow me there at FFB Garage, and I'll give you access to the Google Sheets so that you can view all the data. And yeah, without further ado, let me say what up to Who Hames. We got Green Bean in here. Jeff, good to see you, brother. And Bruni. Yo, what's up, Bruni? Yeah, agreeing on Lamb. I think Lamb, I loved Lamb. I drafted a lot of Lamb last season, and I'm going to have to fade him a little bit this year. I'll take him in the second round, maybe if he ends up there. I've been drafting a ton of George Pickens. Rashee Rice is the guy I want to come back. It's like, do I take I'm going to be starting 3 wide receivers, it seems like. We'll see kind of how the next couple picks turn out. I haven't really figured out who I like at the 2-3 turn yet from this position. I think Chase Brown is fine. I think I'd prefer, though, to go George Pickens, and maybe even Olave. Definitely Rashee Rice. I'm pretty confident in. Josh Jacobs is a good pick. Bucky's fine. I think Ken Walker's overvalued right now. I think Kyron's a good pick. Brees, maybe if he's on a new team in a better situation, you could see some better results, but I think Brees is still a little bit overvalued. Ken Walker, I think, might be one of the more overvalued picks. He's been rising a ton because we're still seeing him on our screens every Sunday playing, and he wasn't even that good last season. He was averaging 10 fantasy points per game. Honestly, I know the Charbonnet thing, situation's going to change, but even then, I'm going to probably go Rashee Rice. It would have been him or like Kyron. So I'm gonna go Rashi Rice. T. Higgins, decent. I'm gonna go Rashi Rice over T. Higgins. Probably go AJ Brown over T. Higgins. ETN got hot down the stretch. I think that's kind of keeping his price up. Um, like, what's the difference between Travis Etienne, who does, we're assuming he comes back and stays with the Jags, Etienne, and a guy like DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift had more 20-point games. Etienne had a higher max score, but Swift, 60% of his games, let's just say 47% of his games, he hit your flex, averaging 13.8. ETN, I guess he was hitting the flex 63% of the time. So that's respectable. It's a little bit more than 14.5. So there's a slight gap there, but I think that's priced in. I think that actually makes sense. Then there's the younger guys. Travion, I think is very expensive. I'm gonna be a little bit underweight on him. Harvey is very expensive. I want to still get some of him. I like his touchdown potential. He had 12 touchdowns last year. If Dobbins is out of town and Harvey gets more touches, I think we'll see some nice production from him. Travion, I'm worried about splitting work with Ramondre. And then Cam Scattaboo, I'm excited about. I'm just a little bit worried about the injury. And it's already priced in. They're like, where he would be going if he was fully healthy, I think. All right, let's pull up the board. So I'm starting off, and I feel like I've been doing this a lot when I've been streaming these drafts. 3 straight wide receivers, even though a lot of people are going 2, 3 running backs early on. I've got some guys. Actually, there was a stream from Monday night a week ago where I got Kyron Williams to come back around in the 4th round with a similar start to this. So you never know who's going to be there. Yeah, I think so too, Huhames. Like, assuming Pickens stays, Lamb just seems a little bit expensive. All right. This 4-5, like these rounds are really interesting. I find myself taking very, very similar players in a lot of my builds. We got okay. I didn't even realize who's in here yet. I got Bruni right next to me with Chase, Henry, Irving. Who else is in here? Got Bruni in here. Looks like he's the only one that made it in. Very nice. Very nice. Good to see Bruni. Okay, I haven't had a chance to get Cam's got to be much so far. I think I will do that. I think although I was just like, talking down his injury. I'll take Scattaboo here. Because I like his potential. I think between him, Henderson, and Harvey, he, in a somewhat smaller sample size, showed the most. The highest ceiling of that group, the best average fantasy points per game, the best touches per game. I think he takes the workload over from Tyrone Tracy. And I think Hendo has more competition from Stevenson. We could honestly see Harvey be the guy who gets the biggest situation change if Dobbins doesn't come back there. So I've started off 3 receivers and then Scattaboo. I got Nakua, Pickens, and Rice. Stafford's pretty expensive, but I should be able to stack him or Dak or Mahomes. They're all going in a similar range and kind of like this 8th round area. So whichever one of those guys comes back, I could even double tap QB at that point. Let's see. I don't know that there's any tight ends that I love this early on. Warren's kind of nice. This is a little bit early for Warren or Fannin. So I'm going to hold off there. I've got DeAndre Swift and Javonte Williams ahead of guys like Henderson and Quinshawn. So I'm going to go DeAndre Swift here. He's going to be one of my most drafted players by far. So DeAndre Swift coming off of one of the best seasons we've seen from him in the last 5 years. Literally the best season in the last 5 years. The most rushing yards, pretty consistent. I mean, his receptions have been up and down, but Pretty consistent on the receiving work. The most fantasy points he's had over this period, 9 touchdowns, 10 total touchdowns, the most he's had in this last 5 years. He's reunited with Ben Johnson, so I think there's a lot there to like. I'm not really worried about Monagai. I think Monagai is definitely the backup and showed some flash, showed some pop, had 2 big 100-yard rushing games plus last year, but I think it's still Swift's job. He's getting the most work. Good offensive line, good team situation. So I'm drafting a bunch of DeAndre Swift. I'll go back to my data here. So for Swift, I mean, he's got 5 games last year with 20 or more points. He's hitting your flex about half the time. And I think compare that to where Monagai goes. Monagai is pretty expensive. Monagai hitting your flex only 19% of the time. High scoring game, 21 points, averaging 8 points a game. Only had 2 games with 20 points. Or no, sorry, only had 2 games with 17 plus points. He had one 20-point game. So I think Monagai is actually very expensive for a contingent upside guy that's actually not really a 1B. He actually is a backup, as far as I can tell. Even with Monagai, we'll go to this. We have more data here. He touched the ball 180 times. That's a lot. That's like a David Montgomery. That's like Zach Charbonnet. More than Ramondre. So he touched the ball a lot. I don't think he takes over the job from Swift. Swift touched the ball 250 times. I think Sutton is a good pick in this range. Sutton's a nice pick here. I'm thinking Michael Wilson. Javante's a really good pick in the 5th round if you can get him. If he falls to the 6th, that's nice. I am betting on like a bounce back from Brian Thomas. Okay, Bruni's on the clock, and then it's me. The 7th round, I'm gonna go probably Tyler Warren. I'm not crazy about the wide receiver options here. I'll keep pushing it. Tyler Warren's a nice fall to me here. I'm gonna grab him, pick 70, a couple spots, but feels right. 2-3-1. How can I get? I'm trying to think. I didn't get Javante with Pickens. I've done that in one of my slow drafts, and then I got Dak later on. I just kind of had an idea about something I might be able to do with my next 2 picks. We'll see how it pans out with what these guys are going to do here at the turn. Bruni gets Joe Burrow. Very nice to go with his Jamar Chase. Makes sense. He's also going pretty heavily into the Buccaneers with Irving and Igbuka, so I like that. Team stacking early. Okay, Hurts goes. Curious to see what Panthers will do with his next pick. About, what is it? Wow, Vince Rex has 2 QBs. He's got Allen and May. Very, very expensive. A lot of draft capital on the QBs there. 2 in the first 5 rounds in a non-super flex format. Seems pricey. What do you guys think about Allen and May's prices? So Allen's obviously going in the 3rd round mostly. Drake May goes, I guess, in the 5th round about. So are you drafting much of these guys? I will take Caleb Williams here. I feel like I have not had the chance to draft Caleb Williams yet. And this team, it makes a lot of sense. I get him past ADP. I get him with DeAndre Swift. I've already got kind of 2 cornerstone running backs and 3 really solid receivers, Tyler Warren. So I've got a nice little roster build here. What I want to look at is Nakua, Pickens, Rice, Scatterboon, Swift. and kind of figure out between my flex eligible players. I know I've filled out like my main roster spots, but I want to see how often I expect these guys to hit my flex, at least. With Puka, we'll scroll back up. We knew it was 80% in the flex. So zero point 0.8 for wide receiver one. Then I went with Pickens. He's a 0.5. Okay. So I need to get to like, filling up the wide receiver, the three wide receiver spots. I need like 3 points. I'm at like 1.3. So I'm halfway there. And then Rice, if I can find him for some reason. Oh, there he is. 63% of the time. So that's like a 0.193. So I'm essentially 2/3 done with filling out my wide receiver positions, which feels good. On the running back side, if I scroll down to Scattaboo, he's going to hit the flex 0.38 per, 0.38, and then Swift, he was 0.74. So that's going to be like 80, 85% of the time. So I've essentially filled out almost one running back position, but at the same time, I filled out about more than two of my wide receiver positions. So I think I still need running backs. Even though it's been a while since I took a wide receiver, I think I still need to get some running backs early on to help hit the lineup a few more times. The trick here is going to be like Mahomes goes. He would have been nice. I think I'm going to be tempted to go with, okay, Prescott goes. That would have been my other option for an early QB stack. I'm going to be tempted to look at the QBs in this range. I might have to push it the way I built this team and still get some running backs that I can rely on early. All right, picks 94 plus. Guys I'm going to be looking for, it's going to be running backs like, Pollard just went. I don't really like Corum or Hubbard that much. Corum wouldn't really help. Hubbard, just okay. Dowdle could be nice. Let's go back. We're on the clock. DJ Moore goes. I would have loved DJ Moore there. Oh, no. Fat fingered it. I was trying to go Stafford, and I didn't get him. I should have had him queued up. I meant to go Stafford first and then Dowdle. That also helps this team a bunch. I mean, that was part of the purpose of I was targeting running back in this range. It's okay. If I don't get Stafford, I have Caleb. I would have taken DJ Moore 100%. Would have taken DJ Moore to stack up with Caleb. Could have been nice. He goes one pick before me to Bruni. You bastard. You owe me for that. Who else? I mean, I could do Worthy goes. I was kind of thinking about Worthy just because then I've got two wideouts for Kansas. That's kind of fun. Pittman, that leans into my Colts bet, and then Pittman goes. I've got Warren. Maybe getting Pittman there would have been a good idea. Running backs in this range, I think I don't really love these guys. I'm going to keep pushing running back, even though I still need to get some. And then wide receivers, I think I'm definitely going to wait there. So this kind of fell into my lap. I was going to go Stafford and then Rico. So either way, Rico then Stafford seems nice. I'm going to stack them up with Puka. I can feel pretty good at my QB spot until the last couple rounds. I still need to get some more running back. Like with Rico, I think we saw Rico was a 0.25 on hitting the flex last season. So I'm gonna need more. I'm kind of like I've already filled out about one running back spot with those three guys. My wide receivers, I think, will hit enough. I still needed to circle back around. I like Wandale in this range. Reed's okay. Addison's okay. I don't love the situation for Addison with McCarthy. That was rough for him and Justin Jefferson. I'm fading Justin Jefferson right now. I don't, unless something changes drastically, I can't take Jefferson in the second round. He's easily like a fourth round, maybe late third round pick for me right now. I want Jameson Williams ahead of Justin Jefferson, like hands down. It's that bad. The situation is looking rough. At least it did last season. Yo, what's up? We got Thad in here. Hashtag zero RB is dead. Well, guess what, Thad? We were going almost zero RB here. We've got hardly any running back draft capital through the first 9 rounds. We pissed the first 3 rounds. Good to see you, Dad. What's up, Emo? How we doing, brother? Paulino. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you're having a great weekend. Like I said, I just got back from the gym and I was on the basketball court for way too long. I'm sore. My feet are killing me. But I'm pumped to draft some best ball teams. In this range, there's like a select guys that I do like and I don't like. I feel like there's a lot of mispriced players. If Bo Nix is going to be free, I'm really tempted to go with him. Marks and Montgomery and JCM. I might need to go receiver first with a guy like Godwin, potentially. Yeah, nice. Bruni picks him up. Boutte is okay. Godwin's okay. Boutte or Godwin. Let's go Boutte this time. Marks Montgomery in this 114 range. Montgomery doesn't really do it for me. Bill could be all right. Marks could be all right. Marks goes. You guys know who I really want. My most drafted player, if it's not DeAndre Swift, it's going to be Kenneth Gainwell. Sir Kenneth. Kenny Gainwell hitting the flex 38% of the time last season, averaging about 11 points a game. Had really nice, 3 20-point games. One of them for 28 fantasy points. Casey Concepcion going early. It's a nice pick. I'm going to go Ken. And Kenny's a free agent, so a lot can change with his situation, but I'm still in. I need to start figuring out like where people are thinking Kenneth Gainwell might land based on team needs. Like if he ends up being a Jet, that's pretty bad. That would be not good for his value. If he goes to the Cowboys, he's a smash. He's incredible if he goes to the Cowboys. Same for Rico too, I guess. I got to figure out like where could Rico land? The 2 free agent running backs. Huhame's out on JMO, but this is best ball, brother. You got to go for ceiling. The reason I'm so in on JMO's a top 10 wide receiver in best ball for me. He had 3 games with 20 or more points. He had 6, or what is that? That'd be like, yeah, he had 5 games with 17 or more points. He's got a little bit lower floor. Only 50% of the games he's hitting your flex. That's perfectly fine, though. With a guy like Justin Jefferson, he shows up after Jalen Naylor. Justin Jefferson, 0 20-point games, only 1 17-point game. His highest scoring game was 17.6. He was averaging 9 points a game. With JMO, we were averaging 11 points a game, just so much better. If in managed leagues, JMO can be a pain in the neck, but I feel like in best ball, in his situation with the Lions is just like one of the best teams to be a part of. So that's kind of why I'm getting there. Yeah, JMO's been looking good. Bill was next in the queue. Yeah, I'm okay with Bill. I think I'm still taking Bill. The thesis last year was like you want Bill next to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels missed a ton of games. So if we can get some more Bill with Jaden Daniels, I'm excited about that roster. I probably need to switch it up and get some Bill like over Gainwell and not just always be Gainwell over Bill, because at least we know Bill's going to be on that. We think he'll be on that roster next year. Hard to know where Gainwell's going to end up. Player I think is super overpriced here is like Jaden Higgins. I would take Godwin over him. I took Boutte over him. There's some other wide receivers I like in this range. Hopefully some come back. I think all of these running back options that we saw go, like Montgomery, Tracy, Dobbins, James Conner, they're all perfectly fine picks after pick 130. Perfectly fine. Debo's a guy I liked. I would have taken Debo at 142 for sure. Yeah, Laporta was injured. Some things could change with that. That's true. Adams over JMO. Yeah, Adams is up there on my list for sure. With all the touchdowns. He's just a touchdown merchant. The thing about Adams though too is so he's like number 8, right? He got 44% of his fantasy points from touchdowns. He had 14 of them. I don't know if that changes, but that's 93rd percentile on fantasy points scored strictly from touchdowns among wide receivers. So that's a lot. I don't love this range. Tyreek Hill. Take a shot on like a Katron Allen. I'll just go take a shot on a guy like Tyreek Hill. Maybe Kenyon Sadiq on the other way around, or Hunter Henry too. Who do I need? Rams, there's nothing there for me. Bears, there's nothing there for me. I like Franklin. I'll take Franklin of these guys. I don't know where Shaheed's gonna end up. That's one to watch. So pick 147 coming up. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Go like 60, just so I can see more names at one time. Judy hits the flex, not enough. I was drafting a lot of Judy. Because he plays so many snaps, but I don't know what's going to change there in the situation for them. Where's I have to scroll down to get to Franklin. No, I missed him. I missed his name. I don't see Franklin. I'm not sure. What pick am I at? I'm at 147. Hunter Henry or Troy Franklin. Tight end doesn't matter as much. It's kind of nice to be paired with Boutte, get the Drake May effect, but I think I'm just going to go Franklin here. Maybe could have gone Katron Allen. I'm not a huge believer in Katron Allen. I don't know where. So for Katron Allen, even with him falling there, I don't see him being a first or second round pick necessarily. So I'm not really sure what to do with him. I gotta find Franklin on this list here. It's so hard once all these names come together. Where's Troy Franklin? I'm in the 80s. I thought he was in the 40s. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong list. Okay, well, he's still down here somewhere. Troy Franklin. Oh, he's way down on this list. Hadn't updated the ADP in recently enough, I guess. Franklin hitting it about 20% of the time, so this helps. I feel like my team so far, Caleb stacked with Swift, Stafford with Puka. That's the real stack. Scatterboo, Swift, Dowdle, Gainwell. I need to go volume. I'm going to take 3 more running backs, and sooner than later. For wide receiver, I'm practically done. I think these guys cover about 2.5 spots. Butte and Hill should cover about a half spot. So that's 3. And then Franklin gives me another quarter spot. So I'm at 3.25. These guys only cover about, what was that, 1.5 spot for my running back lineup. So I still need to get a few more running backs, and then those will naturally hit the flex a few times. Obviously, I'll take one more wide receiver. I'll probably end up going a 3-7-7-3 on this one. I can take the wide receiver in like the very last round and take a few tight ends before then. Running backs I want to get first though. And I don't want to forget on my wide receivers. I guess there are no other options I can really stack for the wide receivers among the remaining quarterbacks. Daniel Jones might go nicely with Tyler Warren. I can think about that one if I wanted to finish QB there. Penix, I feel like even him unstacked, he's going to be a nice value late. Ty Simpson maybe. Going back to the board, Vidal's interesting. I like him in this range. Even Aaron Jones is okay. Can we pick 166 coming up? We're on the clock. I'll take a Hunter Henry past ADP. This is fine. Rashad White, kind of what I would expect. Maybe somewhat interesting. AD Mitchell, where did he pop on here? Let me go find Mitchell. Go up. Mitchell's okay, but I don't really need wide receiver right now. Jerry Judy's still there. People are just hating on Judy. Okay, White goes. I think Sampson could be a good. I need to go running back as it is. I'm gonna go Dylan Sampson. Didn't see a whole lot of him last year, but he had some explosive plays as a pass catcher. Maybe we see more of him with Quinshon Judkins, his late ankle injury in the season. So I'm gonna go a little bit of Dylan Sampson. Yeah, yeah, Thad, you saw me. I've been drafting some Judy. I've got him on a lot of my teams so far. I think he's a good pick where Bruni got him there at 172, a really good pick. I didn't need him on this team. I've already got my wide receivers filled out. I needed to go running back there, so I have to take a risky kind of just upside pick with Sampson. Bruni wanted the Bruni wanted Franklin to go with his Bo Nix. Got a nice slide on Bo Nix. Yeah, Aaron Jones. Let's go find Aaron Jones. I mean, I'm not crazy about Aaron Jones. He's just as cheap as he's ever been. The offense was pretty tragic, though. I mean, the same reason I'm avoiding all of the Vikings. Yeah, Aaron Jones could hit your flex about a quarter of the time. I think he's a decent value still. I think Aaron Jones is still a fine pick at 160. Like, what do you have to lose? Just part of that offense, though, sucks. The Minnesota offense was such a letdown. Okay, it looks like this is the range where the quarterback run is kind of going. Most people have two. A few teams have three now. I could still wait. I don't feel that much pressure to go QB. I could still wait until like the 18th round. I want to go running back. I might double tap running back here to get done. And Ferguson goes. He's a guy I would have taken at tight end. So the fact that he's gone, I'm I'm not super interested in the remaining tight ends. I'll probably just wait on those two. So I'm looking at running back. And here it's just all speculative picks. Finally, AD Mitchell goes. Tesla goes. I haven't gotten any Tesla yet, but I'm interested. Just a baller, touchdown machine in his small sample sizes. Let's see where we go with this next pick at 190, then 195. Brooks is an interesting pick. Do I go Shadur on this team? I don't really want to. Singleton with the foot. I'm still going to click him. That's not good, but now we're getting cheaper Singleton. Probably shouldn't click him that much though. So I won't. I'm at 190. I'll get him there. The rest of tonight, I need to chill on that pick. Emmanuel Wilson's what I like. Manuel Wilson, give us a little bit of something. This is just, it's getting rough. There's a reason these guys go so late. I think Horton's pretty interesting in this range. He might already be gone. Keenan Allen, eh. Devin Neal. I think the Saints draft Jeremiah Love, so I'm a little bit weary about going for any of those running backs. Tez Johnson's interesting. Super late. All right, who else would I want? I don't think there's any Bears or Rams running backs I'm going to want, but I don't think anyone's going to take Emmanuel Wilson, so I'm going to take Ty Simpson here. Assuming that Tua is not a starter next year, and I don't know, Shador, I don't know, man. Can you guys believe that Shador Sanders got snubbed from the Hall of Fame? That just blew my mind when I heard that news. I mean, Jacoby Lane's kind of interesting here. Let's pull up the rookies. What are you guys saying? Who's freaking out about Shador right now? Yeah, what up, JB? Yeah, what's up, Bayou Ben Gaffin? How we doing? Let me look at these rookies. Who do I like? Who could be a second round pick? Malachi Fields, Antonio Williams, Bernard Branch, Bell, Lane. So Bell, Bernard, Branch. I think Lane just went. No, yeah, he did go. I see Jalen Lane. Who else? Bell, Bernard. Branch was gone. Lane, Malachi Fields could be a second round pick. Interesting. So these are some rookie kind of shots that I can take. Got a pick coming up. 3 picks left. I'm done at QB. I need one more running back, one more wide receiver, and one more tight end. And it's like, what do I gain here? Like Stowers. It's fine, I guess. People are talking him up. I need to figure out some more things about him. I'm seeing Claire pop up on some lists. Looks like tight end's gonna go first. I'm gonna go Stowers. And then probably one of these guys will come. Oh, it was Antonio Williams. Antonio Williams. Throw him in there. I mean, he'll be there at the last pick. So one of these guys is going to be there at the last pick. If not, I can always take, somebody. Keon. And does Keenan Allen retire? I think he could. I'm probably not going to draft much of him. I need a running back. Is Pacheco worthless? Probably. Richard Smith, not interested. Devin Neal. I just don't even know who to go. Ollie Gordon. I'm going to go Isaiah Davis. Just throwing that out there. And then we're going to go look and see why that's a bad pick. But I mean, we're in the 19th round? So they're all bad picks at this point. Ray Davis. Isaiah Davis. He's okay. He had a 15-point game. Not great, but we're assuming that they're not going to have. There's gonna be a change up with a lot with the Jets, and they're not going to have what's his name, Brees Hall. Brees Hall's probably gone, right? So maybe Isaiah Davis is interesting. There's always these guys in the big board that I draft occasionally in like rounds 19 and 20 that I'm never going to draft in Best Ball Mania in 18 rounds. Isaiah Davis might be one of those guys, or maybe he becomes a pick that's going in like the 14th round. I probably like Isaiah Davis, his price better than Braylon Allen, and Braylon Allen's not that good. I'll catch up with y'all. Hey, appreciate you, Bayou Ben Gaffin. How we doing? Oh yeah, very good people. Very, very good people in the chat. Appreciate you saying that. Hope you're doing well. Happy weekend. And he wants to know, Captain Clutch Pants, good to see you, brother. Should I look to move Lamb in Dynasty to gather more assets? My current wide receivers are Chase, Lamb, Zay, Worthy, Pittman, Allen, Godwin. So you have Allen and Godwin kind of getting older there. I don't know. Could it be a time to sell CD Lamb? I'm not sure. Maybe. Depends on what you can get for him, I guess. Ooh, Tez Johnson's a good pick. Tez Johnson just went in round 20. I think that's a good pick. Flournoy is kind of a good pick too. So yeah, Captain Clutch. I'm not sure. I was kind of talking about that. I'm a little bit worried about CeeDee Lamb going into next year with Pickens. So maybe a time to sell him. I'm not sure. You've got Jamar Chase, so it's not like you're getting rid of your best receiver. So maybe there's still some name brand value there, and yeah, some good people. Thanks for joining. Bayou. Yeah, iron sharpens iron. Is that in regards to Shedeur Sanders? Galfin, got it. Okay, I'm on the clock. Antonio Williams it is. I guess so. I guess it's going to be Antonio Williams. I mean, I already made this pick, so let's just go through with it. Could be a second round rookie pick. Antonio Williams. I have not clicked his name yet, but there he is. I got a very cheap tight end rookie, wide receiver, and running back with a broken foot, and QB. So 4 rookies on this squad. Nice. That's all right. That's the way to do it. Get the cheap ones. Hope they rise. Risk rewards all there. Let's see. Okay, so this team ended up being Caleb Williams with Swift. Didn't get any other receivers on the Bears. That's all right. Stafford with Puka is the main attraction. Ty Simpson. I think he's probably going to be like a Jet or maybe a Steeler. Don't have any Steelers on here, but I do have Isaiah Davis, I guess. It's got to be Swift, Dowdle, Gainwell. So a lot of free agents. Sampson, Singleton, Davis. The wide receivers, the strength. Nakua, Pickens, Rice. I think Boutier's fine. Hill's pretty interesting. He could go somewhere else or he can come back and new coach, new quarterback. Let's see what happens with him. Probably not great things, though. Troy Franklin, I think, is a nice pick. So I'm going to reach for him a round or two there. Antonio Williams, intriguing rookie. Tyler Warren, slight fall on him. I felt really good about it when it happened. Even bigger fall, but draft capital wise, probably a similar kind of fall that I got on Warren. 4 or 5 picks, but then I get Henry 20 picks later. It's at the point in the draft where the draft capital curve's already kind of flattened anyways, and then Stowers. So I like this squad. Let's see what Bruni did here. Right next to me. I know he got Burrow with Chase. He got Bo Nix, and I sniped him on Franklin. He goes Shedeur. Here. Derrick Henry, Bucky Irving, Pollard, JCM, Ollie Gordon, Jamari Taylor. That's definitely a running back room that can get it done. Pretty strong running back room. The wide receivers, Chase, Egbuka, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore. I like these picks. I like DJ Moore. I like Wandale. I like Jerry Jeudy late. That's a really nice pick on this team. Dobbs. Is Dobbs the free agent? Is that what we're talking about? I think Dobbs is a free agent. And then 4 tight ends. So where did he go? He went like a 3, 6, 7, 4. Wow. Because all eight tight ends. Juwan Johnson, Likely, Njoku, nice, and even Helm. So nice looking squad. I know Njoku's a free agent. So we got Jerry Judy stacked with Shador, and then we got some team bets on like the Bucks and a naked Bo Nix. Who knows? Wandale could end up somewhere like the Broncos. That another free agent, Dobbs. So there's some outs there. Very nice. Let's hop right into another one. How we doing tonight, everyone? Happy Saturday. Boom, the big board. Waiting. Oh, full room. Here we go. Yeah, JB likes the Singleton pick. Why not? I've already taken Singleton before that. Now we have the foot news. Maybe we just get a better value on him. Maybe the foot holds him back all year and it's a terrible pick. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. Me and Huhames are not agreeing on a single thing. That's perfect. That means I need to figure out because I've watched a bunch of Huhames drafts. He's all over with his picks. Definitely some picks that I haven't picked yet. We'll have to figure it out. Would I trade Jamar Chase for London and Fannin in tight end premium dynasty? Probably not. I think London is a nice piece. So what do you guys think in the chat? Like, do you think that Captain Clutch should sell CeeDee Lamb first off? And then second off, should he trade Jamar Chase for London and Harold Fannin? I just can't really trade Jamar Chase in dynasty if I've got him. I do have him in one league, and I don't want to get rid of him. Let me go. What was I going to look at? I was going to look at London. Going to look at London. London's nice. Averaged about 14 points a game. Was that 3 games with more than 20 points in the 11 games he played? Might be 4 games. That's 4 games. So London was nice when he was active. But Jamar Chase, just a whole nother ball league. Even in a down year without Burrow, he still gets 15 and a half fantasy points per game. So I feel like it's kind of selling low on Jamar Chase, I would say. What do you guys think in the chat? Okay, we're back in here. We got Who Days in the one spot. What's up, brother? Good to see you. I feel like I recognize Panthers. Not sure who that is, though. We got me in the 12. I don't know if I've picked from the 12 spot yet. Brees Hall to the Texans is interesting. They got to fix the offensive line, but he could be potent there. A nice addition. I think that's kind of fun. Yo, what's up? Copy paste. Good to see you, brother. There's so much ambiguity. There really is. Yeah. There's a lot of free agents that make sense. The rookies, people are pretty unsure about, which rookie wide receiver goes first in these drafts, which should go first, who goes first in the real NFL draft, which guys are going to go in the second round, which guys are going to go much later. I think that changes a lot of where we're taking some of these players. I think a lot of these rookies right now are getting drafted like they might be a second round pick, and I don't think they will be. They'll be worse than that. So a lot of ambiguity. Kind of lean into it. Risk reward. Yeah, JB says can't trade Jamar attached to Burrow. There's no way to upgrade on that. I would agree. Even like Puka Nacua, I'm for Dynasty. Probably, I don't know. Is it crazy to want Jamar Chase and JSN over Puka in Dynasty? Puka's great though too. I just feel like with Puka, there's a risk that Matt Stafford, I think he plays another year, maybe 2. Who knows after that? Jamar Chase, I think it's selling low. JSN, probably the most comparable to Puka in like a lot of ways for Dynasty, I would think. I also am pretty bad at Dynasty trades. I traded away JSN going into last season. Not ideal. But in my other league, I have both JSN and Jamar Chase, so I guess I just thought that I didn't need him everywhere. Interesting. I have not picked from this far back on the board. Genty's okay. I'm gonna go Drake London first and then figure it out. Who do I even like here? I haven't picked back here. I really wanted Achan. Do I go McBride? I'm cool with London. Genty's been rising. I guess Genty's fine. The Raiders are only going to get better, right? We hope. So, do I like Hampton more than Genty? Probably not. Maybe. Jeremiah Love's interesting. I haven't gotten any Jeremiah Love yet. I'm worried about Neighbors, but I feel like I shouldn't be worried. I just coming off the injury and haven't heard a lot of good news yet. I'm gonna just get some Genty exposure. Also, it gives me the perfect excuse to roll the Genty clip. I mean, the same price we paid last year, getting Genty at the 1-2 turn, even though he was pretty underwhelming. It was a Raiders problem. Things can change. Things can change. People can change. Hopefully it gets better. It can't get much worse. I see people taking maybe Love over Genty or Hampton over Genty. Probably you can make that argument pretty easily. McBride falls a ton here. He goes at pick 20 to the JSN team. That is a sick combo. I'm very jealous. I would much rather have JSN and McBride than London and Genty. So this is already not a great start. Not great. Yeah, maybe move Lamb and get some more assets for Captain Clutch. Upgrading at tight end can be difficult. You kind of have to get lucky on buying low on some guys or drafting tight ends that work out. It can be hard to trade for tight end. You don't always get the best value out of that, I find, because tight end's so volatile year to year. And really it's even in tight end premium, you're still hunting for touchdowns or just guys who can, in a tier of their own. Like you're not gonna be able to trade for Trey McBride reasonably. No, copy paste. I'll tell you why Bijan is a great 101. Jamar Chase goes 101 to Huday's there. But let's look at Bijan. So Bijan is rightful 101. 50% of his games, he scored more than 20 points. He averaged 20 points last year, a high score of 37. That's good enough to win it all. About a fantasy point per touch, 350 touches, 11 touchdowns. The difference between Bijan and everyone else who's up here at the top running backs, he had the least touchdowns by far, still had a ton of touches, 326. He had the most yards, right? 2,200 yards, insane. He catches the ball, he's explosive. Their offense should get better. He's averaging 140 yards per game, by far the most of any of the other running backs. And then, so he only got 20% of his fantasy points from touchdowns. That's 29th percentile among running backs. So I think Bijan's super safe for some positive touchdown regression, and that's going to be a good thing. My first pick here, I'm going to go Kyron most likely. Kyron? Yes. Yeah, Kyron's a good pick here. And then I think I want to go Devontae Adams over JMO. Even with the aging factor, it's just being on the Rams is really, really good. All those touchdowns, even with some touchdown regression. So I get the team stack there, which is kind of nice too. Just leaning into the Rams feels like, it hopefully should be good. It definitely consolidates my bets, at least. But that's why I think that Bijan's not a trap. If anything, he could score more touchdowns next year, maintain the level of efficiency he's had, and maybe some better quarterback play, gets access to more touchdowns, and he is going to be a nice. He could be prime time Christian McCaffrey type scoring. Bijan is probably the only player capable of that currently. So it looks like to me, at least. Achan's the other one. I think Achan could do it, but his team environment's just much worse. I think. Yeah, JB, that's a nice team. Having Jamar and Zay, and then just having like so many nice players. I'm getting genty with it. Dude, Hames needs some rest. Hames is cracking me up. I haven't taken Lamar Jackson in the 5th round yet. I feel like I'm going to regret that, but I'm not really paying up for quarterbacks this year. You'll see me consistently just taking the mid and late QBs, hoping to get lucky. Yeah, we sold them. I think the two guys that are the most due for potential positive touchdown regression would be like Bijan and Achan. With Achan though, new coach, new quarterback, that could all be really bad. There's some consistency with the Falcons, at least. Can their offensive line stay good? The quarterback play could improve for Penix. Hopefully he comes back from the injury. Okay, Waddle's been rising a ton. Sutton goes pretty early in this draft. These are good picks. I have London, Genty, Kyron, and Adams. So I'm pretty balanced. I feel like I'm doing well balancing this team. I can take kind of what comes to me here in the back end of the 5th, which I have not been drafting from this part of the board a lot. So this is all kind of new picks for me. I immediately like Christian Watson. He gets drafted. I'm not going to queue any more players. They keep getting drafted right out from under me. I don't think I take Drake May here. It's too early. It's too rich. Not going to go Tyler Warren again. Javonte goes. That's who I would have wanted as well. I'm going to take DeAndre Swift 100% of the time at pick 60. And then I think I go Michael Wilson. But I got to think about it. It's either him or DK. Let me look here. Michael Wilson. Probably who I want. Let's just do it. Why not? Genty, Kyron, Swift, London, Adams, Michael Wilson. Solid. I have, of course, there's always the out with Stafford. Penix goes super late. This is an option for Mendoza now, and lean into like a Raiders stack. Maybe Caleb again if he comes around later. I'm doubtful. I've been taking Michael Wilson with Brissett. I'm not sure how to play that, but I think Brissett as a third QB, and he's so cheap, is not a terrible thing to have. So who Hams needs a nap? the Dolphins OC yet. Because the coach is the Packers D coordinator. Yeah, there's some interesting things with the Dolphins. Okay, anyways, Caleb Williams went. Burrow, May, Williams, Daniels, Hurts. I don't know if I ever would have believed last season that Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels would be going after Caleb Williams. Doesn't seem right. I understand, though, getting Caleb Williams with Loveland. I'm a fade on Lamb. Hate to say it. I'm a slight fade on Neighbors because of the injury. And I'm not really sure, but maybe Neighbors not this year, but next year I'm back in. Bucky, somewhat skeptical of, but still I think he's fine to take here in the third round. Loveland's a little bit expensive. Judkins, I'm a little bit fading him with the injury risk in the team. And then it's just early for QB. So a lot of these picks here is probably not where I see myself taking a team like that. All these QBs going in like this 6th, 7th round range just seems very expensive. I might still have to do it here with my 8th pick at 85, which is a little early, but acceptable. Yeah, I feel like there's almost no way Caleb Williams can pay off this price and not be a better, like, I don't know. The other quarterbacks that go in this range, Hurts, Daniels, probably should pay off more. The opportunity cost of taking Caleb Williams here, you miss out on like Brian Thomas or Marvin Harrison. We could see third-year breakout for Brian Thomas, even though he already had his rookie breakout. Bounce back. Marvin Harrison could do something. Metcalf's okay. I feel like Tyler Warren might be a better pick at 64 than Caleb Williams. And I just took Caleb Williams in the last draft. But I'm pretty sure I got him over here at 74, 75. Stacked him with Swift again. I'm always going to take DeAndre Swift. If you guys are going to give him to me. No one likes DeAndre Swift. He's in the Ben Johnson offense. He's the primary workhorse back. He catches balls. Alec Pierce continues to fall. He's becoming interesting. I'll go Quentin Johnston first. We're at pick. We're in the 80s. Quentin Johnston seems nice to me. I think Jacoby Myers was already gone. Pollard was already gone. DJ Moore gone. DJ Moore is there. Do I take a falling dart? Mahomes, Prescott, Stafford. I don't think so. Tight end. Be Laporta. It's a little early. Pollard's okay. I think it's Tony Pollard. Let's get the running backs done with. I feel like my wide receivers are still strong enough. I didn't have to get 5 yet. I don't want to be too late to the party on QB and tight end. I feel like I'm starting to feel that way. Running back feels decent. Real decent through my first 8 picks. I got 4 of them. Wide receiver the same way. Very, very good. Could have taken the falling dart. Maybe that was the move. Dart seems pretty cheap relative to a rushing upside QB where we were drafting them last year in like the 4th round. I just don't really see myself taking a whole lot of QBs in this range. I don't know. I am kind of surprised DJ Moore did go. Yeah, Myers went right before my last pick, so DJ Moore is a good pick. I think Pollard's fine in this range. The Titans should have a better offense. It'd be hard to be much worse. And Pollard still touches the ball like a ton. Yeah, Birdie is so cheap. Purdy misses a few games with injury, of course, but yeah, make it make sense. It's like Trevor Lawrence last year. He was super cheap. Goff was pretty cheap. Still relatively. I thought Dak was cheap last year. It's the cheapest we're going to get Mahomes, Swift, 2 rounds ahead of Mahomes. Seems like maybe an overreaction. Okay, we agree on Swift. Okay, I like that, James. I'm glad we agree on Swift. To me, getting Pollard in the exact same round where people are taking like Monangai and Corum seems like a huge disconnect there. Like a true workhorse running back compared to like obvious backup options. And you can make arguments about Monangai and Corum, maybe especially Corum coming on as more of like a 1B towards the end of last year in the offense. Obviously, the Rams are just a way better spot than the Titans. I'm looking for opportunity and touches. Boston at pick 100 seems like a good pick. I've seen Denzel Boston consistently mocked in the first round of the NFL draft. We're taking other first round wide receivers way up here in round 5. You can get Boston in round 9. Last year, we were taking the second round wide receivers in the 8th round range. So he's still like I think he's a good value. Denzel Boston, just based on that alone. There are a lot of elite QBs, at least. You're right about that, JB. We'll have to see. I got to do some more research on the 2025 QB data and see what I can figure out. I haven't gone deep enough yet. Stafford Wandale would be sick. Is there any reason to go Knicks, Golf, or Love? And also Juwan Jennings is not bad. Knicks goes with nothing, but I can backstack him pretty easily. And Knicks goes Golf. I don't have any Lions, and I'm not going to be able to get any. Love. I don't have any Packers, and probably not going to be able to get any. So I'll just take Stafford with my first pick to go with my Kyron and Devontae. Sick. And then Wandale, Coker, or Juwan Jennings at pick 110. Probably just Wandale. Yeah, probably just Wandale. Either him or Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings scores so many touchdowns. He's like a touchdown merchant. That's just his thing. Wandale's the opposite. He gets his work with yards, receptions. So it's a little bit more predictable. Wandale could end up somewhere really nice. I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, where would Wandale end up? And I don't know the answer. But I thought about some pretty nice spots for him. Ooh. Well, no, I'm cool with going Wandale there. I'm feeling really good with those 5 wide receivers, 4 running backs. Got my QB. Maybe I can get some like middle tight ends and not just wait till the very end. Wandale. I need, so beyond figuring out like free agent landing spots and like team needs for the running backs, I want to do it for the wide receivers as well, because there's some pretty decent free agents. Wandale could be a Bronco. Wandale could be a Packer. He could easily be a Bill. I see Casey Concepcion being a Bill. I feel like the Bills could take him in the first round. The end of the first round. The Bills go wide receiver, take KC. That would be sick. Ideal landing spot, I think. Gainwell goes. I would have liked Gainwell to come back around. I do need to focus on tight end, though. There's some, like Goddard in the 10th round seems like a great pick. What do y'all think about that one? Goddard. I don't know anyone who's like out on Goddard. Isn't he a potential free agent? But it seems like they might re-sign him. Broncos already have our Wan'Dale's named Marvin Mims. I guess so, to an extent. That is true. They got to figure... Well, the thing with Marvin Mims, though, is he just can't command targets and receptions like Wan'Dale can. I mean, 50 targets in back-to-back years. Wan'Dale's got 100 and 140 targets in back-to-back years. So 50 versus 140, it's like just... Wan'Dale had more targets last season than Mims' entire career. Insane. I feel like people are sleeping on Wan'Dale a little bit. Shuck's kind of interesting. I don't have any Saints. I don't know how I'm going to get one. Cheap Kittle. Take a shot on a cheap Kittle, and then Kenyon Sadiq feels very fun. I don't have to go for any of these running backs, and I don't want to. Tight end, it'd be like Shuck or Darnold. I don't have any connection there for stacks, but they both seem like decent picks. Mendoza probably does not come back around, so I'll have to figure that out. Wide receiver, it'd be like just to wait for that. So let's just, I don't know. Shuck or Darnold. Yeah, Goddard's solid. He's a free agent, right. I'll go Kenyon Sadiq. I haven't gotten him yet, so that's my first one, I'm pretty sure. Seems like a good pairing with Kittle. We don't know when he's going to be back and ready, but ideal that he plays the second half of the season and is a good value for that. If I can cover him until he gets back. Kenyon Sadiq, almost guaranteed to be a first-round pick. I've seen him mocked to the Texans, the Dolphins. I've seen him mocked to... Where else? Carolina. People have been talking about him going to the Bucks. I'm not really sure. Shuck goes, no surprise. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of an expensive price per Shuck, but I guess it doesn't really matter. If you have any of the Saints, and I don't even know if this team does, but if you have Olave, Jeremiah Love, I'd want to stack. I think Jeremiah Love's probably going to be a Saint, so I'd want to stack Shuck with him. Mendoza does go. I hate to see it. I would have liked Mendoza to come back around. He goes to the Bowers team. Darnold and Stroud, I think, make more sense to me than Shuck at the same price. Even Mendoza, I think, is better than Shuck at the same price. It just comes down to what do you believe the Raiders versus the Saints offense and capability, the environment those QBs are put into. Like you can't, I mean, Mendoza versus Shuck, not even close. The thing with Ty Simpson is he only was 1 year as a starter at Alabama, and so he really doesn't have enough starts under his belt. I'm taking Ty Simpson in the last round because you can get him in there in like the second to last round. But he's a pretty risky pick. Better for these 20 round drafts. Yeah, that's right. That's true, JB. What is Huhames doing on Twitter right now? Go find out. Follow him at Huhames_FF. Pretty sure that's what it is. Something like that. I did a lot of grok trolling of NFL fan bases last summer, in the beginning of last year. I remember when we didn't know where Aaron Rodgers was going to land yet. I put Aaron Rodgers in different teams' uniforms. I think it was a Saints uniform that I put Aaron Rodgers, and that pissed off a lot of Saints fans, which was so funny to me. Dang. Tight end looks bad. Running back would be Vidal. Kimani Vidal. And then QB, I think Malik Willis is kind of fun. I think he could be the Jets quarterback. This is too expensive for him, though. Should I wait? Another Tyreek Hill share. Why not? I didn't want to go in any of these tight ends just yet. If Malik falls, I'm more excited to take him. I'll see what comes back around. There's still... I really need QB help at this point, but there's a couple names that go late, that go essentially undrafted, that I could make work. But it's getting late in the game. I mean, there's teams with 3 QBs. A lot of teams, most teams, every team has 2 except for me. 2 teams have 3. But I'm kind of using that to my advantage, hoping that they need to pivot and get running backs. It looks like a lot of these teams need RB help. I'm feeling pretty good at RB with 5. I'm the only team, me and Jay Connolly, Panthers, and I guess I was the only team with 5 running backs through 13 rounds, it looks like, except for Who Days. So everyone else is starting to grab running backs as fast as they can because they're going. So hopefully I can pivot now. Maybe even double tap QB. Be done with it. Or go tight end here. It would make a lot of sense for me too. Oh, making some multimedia. I love that. 2 Hames in the lab. Let's see. Let's review this team that I've drafted so far. London. We've got Genty, Kyron stacked, Adams, both of them with Stafford. I go Swift, Wilson, Johnston, Pollard. Wandale's a free agent. Kittle injured. Sadiq, maybe, who knows where he goes. Vidal, a free agent. Tyreek Hill could get moved or could stay in Miami. There's a whole new environment there for him. Coach, quarterback potentially. So a lot of question marks. I don't have that many team stacks outside of the Rams. I have 3 Rams players and then 1 player from all of the other teams that I've drafted. So it's a little bit of a hodgepodge. I feel like I do need to get some more. I need to, maybe take some more Falcons if I can manage that. Or take some more. I don't think there's any Bears left. Raiders, I'm not sure. Maybe I could do something with the Raiders. There's potential. Cardinals, Chargers. I just saw DK go. Maybe take Aoman or later. Not crazy about him. Dalton Schultz shouldn't be severely injured. I think he's okay, is what the reports are saying. Is Terrence Ferguson interesting? He did not show a lot as a rookie. That's kind of concerning for me. I think I'm still going to push tight end. Schultz goes. That's the only one I was really considering. I'm cool to go Daniel Jones and Penix, both of them coming off of injuries. Stafford can carry for a while. I think these guys make sense. I don't even have any Colts. That is what I want to do, though. I thought about waiting for Brissett, but if I have the chance to get Daniel Jones super late and then Penix and double tap QB to finish it out there. So now I've got my Penix to London. That seems appropriate. Daniel Jones. I'm going to just lean into the Rams. Who would I want? I would take Terrence Ferguson, and that's about it. For the Colts, I don't think there's any players left that I'd want, which is unfortunate, but Daniel Jones on his own I think is fine. The Falcons, I feel kind of the same way. Mooney's a free agent or no? I can't remember. I might have to look that up. Do you guys know anything about Mooney? Is he a free agent? I cannot remember that one. I feel like he's not. He just had like a big letdown year. So keep that in the back pocket. Trey Harris had a pretty bad rookie season. I'm not going to be chasing him. Trey Tucker gives me a team stack on the Raiders that I don't mind if he comes back around. I've liked Horton. Could use 2 more running backs as well, so maybe I need to figure that out. Who do I actually like? Yeah, this is the range where I don't like any of the running backs. So, because I really haven't taken any rookies yet, except for Sadiq, I could take some swings with some rookie running backs. Since I already feel so good about my top 4, that's probably the right move to do. Guys like Damon Claiborne out of Wake Forest. Maybe even Adam Randall. Mike Washington. At the same time, there's the second-year running backs that should probably... I mean, Keaton Mitchell's interesting always. Guess so. Manuel Wilson. Ray Davis. Blue and Smith, I'm going to pause on those guys. Najee Harris is probably a good value if you can get him this late. I'm assuming is probably something to do. Probably a pick to make. Pacheco, though, I'm more out on, I guess. Does Jordan James become the backup? We saw nothing out of him. That was big nothing. Same thing with DJ Giddens. You guys like Jamari Taylor. I've seen you guys talk about him. Running back gets so ugly this late. Is Antonio Gibson draftable? He missed most of the year. Probably not. It's crazy how far you have to scroll at running back. Brian Robinson. I don't know, man. Caleb Johnson. He had that fumble on that kick return that really just blew up in his face. Parkinson, does that repeat? Or is he a free agent? I can't remember his status either. Njoku seems nice this late. All right, it's coming back around. Let's see who got picked in this round. Parkinson goes. Mims Jr., I've been able to get him pretty late, like around 20 a lot of times too. Trey Tucker did go. That's disappointing. I wanted him. Singleton at pick 184. It's to me, I'm going to go Njoku to finish out tight end. And then I think I'll take Damon Claiborne, I guess. Or do I take Brissett and then go 4 QB in a really strange twist of fate that I never do? I kind of feel like that's a better pick. I've got Michael Wilson, Daniel Jones, and Penix. Who knows how long they're going to be out? And we're going 20 rounds, so something I would never do in a 18-round draft. But here, I don't feel good about any of these running backs. This could be almost a hyper fragile build where I got so much draft capital at running back early, tacked on Kamani Vidal for good measure, didn't even need him. I've got the 3 tight ends. A lot of risky picks with the injury, the rookie, David Njoku having a down year. Hopefully he moves somewhere better for him. But I've stacked up my first 3 wide receivers. 4, 5, 4. I can still do like a 4, 6, 7, 3, which is crazy. And I think it's the right move here. I think I made the right choice. With Daniel Jones and Penix injuries, I feel like having Jacoby could be nice, especially if he becomes the starter for the Cardinals, which I'm assuming he does. I'm overdrafting Jacoby Brissett. I probably have too much of him. This is probably the first time I've taken 4 QBs ever. I'm pretty sure. Unless I auto draft one at some point in the past. Let's see. What do I want to do to finish this one out? Obviously, go one more running back. And then probably just, yeah, one more receiver. But who do I like? Who do I like here? Receiver-wise. One of these running backs will be there. And then receiver-wise, Flournoy is kind of fun. I think Keenan Allen most likely retires. He could easily retire. So there's some risk there. He's free. He's cheap. If I have to pay more to get him later, still fine. What am I looking for? I had like Herbert. I'd be okay with taking Keenan Allen and be the 20th round. Wicks is still a Packer. Oh, Malachi Fields is interesting. Tez Johnson is actually pretty interesting. I can't believe Demario Douglas pretty much goes undrafted. I'll go Flournoy. He seems fun. And then I think I will take a Najee Harris. I have no idea where he's going to play next year. He was like a 1-year deal with the Chargers, right? So last round Najee. I kind of like this 4-6-7-3 build. Feels weird, but I kind of like it the way I did with the injured guys and the guy that might not get a starting job but could or should. So there's a lot of ambiguity behind Matthew Stafford. Helps bounces out some of the draft capital too. This team, I've got Stafford with Kyron and Devontae Adams. I have Daniel Jones, the only Colts player. I have Michael Penix with Drake London. I have Jacoby Brissett. Hopefully he's the starting quarterback for the Cardinals, and I've got him with Michael Wilson. Genty, but no other Raiders. Like I said, Kyron. I got DeAndre Swift. Yeah, of course, you know me. Tony Pollard seems like a good pick there. So almost a hyper-fragile build, but then because it's 20 rounds, I still took Kamani Vidal later, Najee Harris. I think they're both free agents, if I'm not mistaken. I know Kamani is. Drake London stacked. Devontae stacked. Michael Wilson stacked. Quentin Johnston. I think he's a decent pick around 84. I like that. Wan'Dale's a great pick over pick 100. Tyreek Hill, because I also drafted George Kittle, so I'm just taking old guys who used to be good in fantasy, and we'll see. With Kittle, it's more about the injury. With Hill, it's both the injury and just a lot of other concerns. Flournoy seems like a pretty good pick at the end of the draft. Sadiq, people are talking about him, so I'll lean into some Sadiq hype. David Njoku does seem pretty cheap. Trinidad Chambliss getting drafted. Interesting. Trinidad Chambliss getting drafted, but not Ty Simpson, who's almost certainly going to be a first-round pick. I guess Kirk Cousins and Tua are backups now. Mac Jones is definitely a backup. Marcus Mariota, we just don't know. He'll start somewhere. Anthony Richardson might start a few games for the Colts, or they might just go straight to Riley Leonard. Seriously. The real sicko stream. I appreciate that, Darth Carter. Only the real sickos. Not everyone's saying the midday drafts during conference championship week. It's the Saturday night in January grinders in the garage. Hey, appreciate that, my man. You know where to find it. Tyreek feels like a Brown. Ooh, that would be pretty bad for his outcomes, right? That'd be pretty bad. But at pick 157, he could be a Brown. It's the injury, though. Like, his injury was early enough. But you just got to see some IG videos of him, like, cutting and running full speed. I don't even think I follow him. I haven't looked into it, what his status is on Tyreek Hill. But now I've drafted Tyreek Hill twice in back-to-back drafts, so I feel like I need to figure out what the hell is going on with him because I can't keep clicking that and not know better. 2 drafts in a row, I get, what is that? I didn't have Stafford last time, I don't think. 2 drafts in a row that I get Swift and Tyreek. I guess that's it. All right, let's jump right into another one. It's Saturday night. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sticking right here and drafting another big board team, and it's snap filled. Do I want this one? Let me see. Maybe for a minute. Maybe as this draft loads up. We'll switch back to the other one. A little change up. We'll stretch. I don't know. I don't recognize any names in this one, so I just got a fresh draft room. I was the last one to join it. I'm in the 4 spot. I do feel pretty comfortable drafting out of the 4 spot. I feel like I've done that. I've been on the left side of the board a little bit more frequently. See what we can get into this time. Yeah, can't stop, won't stop. We're here. Time to draft. Get some drafts in. I haven't done like a huge amount of drafts yet, though, either. I mean, I didn't even check to see what number this is for me. I'm still like, it's still early. I'm only doing like maybe one a day. I've got a few slows going. And we're on the clock. Gibbs. I mean, this is Jamar Chase all the way. JSN's tempting. JSN is very tempting. I'm gonna get Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is how you can win more than once than Jamar Chase. I think this is the correct top 5. I think it is Bijan, Puka Nacua, then Jamar Chase, then JSN, and then probably Gibbs. McCaffrey, I'm not sure. JT, I'm not sure. I feel like, yes, obviously. Obviously, they should be there, but I don't know if I want to take them there. Why not James Cook? James Cook, very good. Not ahead of Jonathan Taylor, though. Maybe ahead of McCaffrey. It's hard to say. You have to predict or project that McCaffrey falls off a little bit. He might not. You have to think with JT, he is bad on the end of the season. Without Daniel Jones, it's kind of rocky. Gibbs, Achane, not a huge difference there. It's just better to be on the Lions. So, in receiver-wise, I mean, Amon-Ra is pretty tempting as well. London's not bad. Rashee Rice is really interesting. He goes later on. So, I would take all the guys I just mentioned ahead of CeeDee Lamb and Genty. Like, picking Genty ahead of Cook and Achane to me seems a little bit wrong. Obviously, London. He comes back to me. He will not come back to me. I think I go Jeremiah Love over Saquon. I'm not crazy about Saquon. Saquon had a bad year. Saquon was a huge letdown last year. I would take Derrick Henry over Saquon. 2% of the time. Saquon is more of a floor play, not a whole lot of ceiling. Rarely showed his ceiling. Strange things. New OC, things can turn around a lot for the Eagles. Things can change. Derrick Henry also gets more Lamar Jackson time back. I hope. We all think so. Yeah, London Barkley. Maybe I get Jeremiah Love. I might have to go Pickens again for the millionth time. I'm cool with Derrick Henry. Yeah, I'm going to get one of Jeremiah Love or Derrick Henry. This seems fine. Go with Jamar Chase. If it's Jeremiah Love, let's do it. It's expensive. Probably should just go Derrick Henry. But my first Jeremiah Love share. I think I get it at a nice spot, pick 21, to go with Jamar Chase. Seems pretty expensive. I don't know what to do, BKGJ. I don't know what to do with Kyler Murray. I have no idea. Is he going to be the starter for the Dolphins? Is he going to be a starter for the Jets? And do we like him in either of those spots? I don't know. Or is he going back to the Cardinals? That's also in play. Oh, David's in the room at 10. Tesla shock. Shout out to David. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. Nice. Amon-Ra and Trey McBride. I love that start. That's very solid. Get all of the receptions. Okay, it's Chris Olave. It is Chris Olave here. Unless I wanted to go running back, and I don't think I do. I'm going to go Olave, which is fun, because then I get out to get Shuck later, and I haven't got a lot of Shuck. I also think Jeremiah Love is a Saint. I think he's a Saint. Now I'm going to assume I've got two Saints here. The two ones you want, and then Jamar Chase. Do I get Burrow? If I can get Burrow in the 7th, I will do it. I think it's worth it there. But it's so expensive, and now the drafter in the 5 spot has Higgins. He's going to have a shot to take. I guess I get the first shot at Burrow in the 7th. He gets the first shot at Burrow in the 6th. Figure it out. What do you guys think about Kyler? Does he stay on the Cardinals? Is he the starter there? How long is his leash? Does he start at all 16, 17 games? I mean, or does he go somewhere new? Do they trade him? I'll say it again. I think Ken Walker is good. He's just way overpriced right here. He had a super low floor during the ceiling. He didn't show his ceiling all that much during the season. Yes, let's change. Charbonnet's gone. Charbonnet's going to miss some time. There's minus 180 touches. Maybe a lot of those go to Ken Walker. I think Ken Walker is so high right now because we keep seeing him playing on Sundays. He's still in this. So he's a little bit overvalued here. There's a lot of other wide receivers and running backs that would take over Ken Walker in this range. Breece Hall, it's hard to know. Bet on talent, I guess. I don't know where he's going to land. He had a really bad year, so he's been a letdown for a few years now. The Cook rise is something that will be studied next year. No reason he should be that high. James Cook? No, James Cook is good. James Cook scored 20 or more fantasy points in, what is that? It'd be 5 games, right? 5 of 16. No, that would be, sorry, I'm mistaken, because 5 would be less than a third. That's 7. Is that 7 games? Or no, 6. No. Yeah, that's 6 games. 6 games with 20 or more fantasy points. That makes sense, though. He's averaging almost 18 points a game. 63% of the time, he scored more than 17 points. He's also hitting your flex that same amount of time, so 69% of the time. So James Cook's real good, real good. 14 touchdowns, potentially repeatable. 1,897 total yards is pretty insane. 21 touches a game is insane. It's right up there with Bijan. There's like a Bijan who scores more touchdowns and doesn't get as many yards per touch. A whole yard per touch less. So I mean, he's on the Bills. The Bills don't have any good wide receivers. He's their best offensive weapon to pair with Josh Allen. So I am in on Cook. I think Cook's a good first round pick. I like Achane more. I don't know. It's a toss up. I like Achane and Cook a lot. Devontae Adams. Just gonna give me Devontae Adams. Just gonna give me Devontae Adams, I guess. I got to do it. So back-to-back Devontae Adams drafts. Yeah, I think Jeremiah Love goes to the Saints, and it's whatever pick they have. It's pick 15 or no, it's earlier than that. It's like pick 10 or whatever. I don't even know. Pick 12. I think Jeremiah Love is a Saint. Yep, Devon Vele all along. Knew it. Jeff, do you know my Devon Vele story? I'll have to tell you now. I've told it before. It's been a while. After I make this pick, I'm going to tell the Devon Vele story. This is kind of what I think. I kind of think Kyler goes to like the Steelers or the Jets. That's also a team that could easily draft like a Ty Simpson, and then Kyler starts half the season and then gets benched at the end. So they want to see what Ty Simpson's got. Or maybe Ty Simpson never gets a start and he's a first-round pick that sits on the bench all year. Hard to know exactly what's going to happen there. Harvey is interesting. I like Swift and Javonte Williams more, but I'll take some Harvey. I also like Christian Watson a decent amount. But do I want him more than Harvey? And I'll take some Harvey just because I don't want to be all the way out. But Christian Watson, top 17. I've got enough wide receivers. I'll take the swing on a guy like Harvey, who the thing with Harvey is, I mean, I can potentially get these other running backs later. Head to head, I like Swift probably more. Harvey had those 12 touchdowns last year. Maybe he gets even more. The Broncos are good. It's a good environment. It's a good team. Okay, Swift goes right after my pick, but it's fine. I need to mix it up. I can't have all Swift. I like the Broncos. I like the Broncos running back potential. Dobbins doesn't re-sign. He's a free agent. Could Harvey go from like 180 touches? Is I think what he had. Let's look at Harvey. I don't even have his touch total there. I have it over here. Let's look at Harvey here and figure out what could improve, what could change. I mean, he's hitting the flex 44% of the time. He had that nice ceiling. He had a 3-touchdown game. Only got 23 fantasy points out of it. Not a whole lot of yardage. 177 touches, almost 900 yards total. You know, he's 90th percentile for percentage of fantasy points that come from his touchdowns. At 40% of his fantasy points coming from his touchdowns. But he's getting 1 fantasy point per touch. That's super elite. That's right up there with Gibbs territory, with HN territory. Better than Scadaboo. So with Harvey, the bet is that he goes from 170 touches to like 270 touches, and then he's a smash. The threat is that they sign or draft another running back who it really is like a two-headed backfield more than just Harvey becoming a workhorse, which I think is possible. Harvey not the biggest guy, but he's explosive. He's a good pass catcher. So I think you have, with guys like Javonte Williams and Swift, a little bit safer pick to getting those 250-plus touches. With Harvey, you're kind of making some assumptions that he gets there. Stevenson goes really early in this one. Where's Henderson? Henderson's still on the board and Stevenson goes first? No, I didn't see Henderson get picked. Somehow I can't see it on the board. Hendo must have gone super early because, oh, there he is, pick 40. Yeah, I think that's way too early for Henderson. It's a good bet on talent, but it's just, he's going to be splitting work. Yeah, like I thought was going to happen. Joe Burrow goes right before me. I predicted that to happen. I might go Jaden Daniels. I haven't taken him yet. I took Jalen Warren. I almost took Jaden Daniels, and I don't know why I didn't do it. I guess I can still do Shuck and Stafford later, or even Bo Nix. And then Jalen Warren, I think, is another guy where not so impressive last season, but I think he's like a top 30 running back and has the ceiling potential. Maybe, you know, he had 230 touches for the Steelers. Maybe he can get that or more again with Gainwell gone. Maybe some of those Gainwell games become Jalen Warren games. And so Jalen Warren at pick 70 is okay. I needed an RB3 for sure. I also could have used a wide receiver 4. I think quarterback's a position that I didn't need the most. So I passed up on Jaden Daniels and Hurts there. They don't come back around. I'm not going to go Herbert, but do I take QJ here? Or Parker Washington? I don't know. You guys like Parker Washington. I'll throw him in there. I know Pierce is my guy from last season. He's a free agent. It's hard for me to click him. Parker Washington, it's crazy to think that he's the first drafted Jags wide receiver. But maybe Brian Thomas went first. Maybe he's a third-year breakout coming into like a strong fourth year. I feel like it's really risky. But a lot of these fantasy points came on at the second half of the season. So it kind of dilutes it when you look at him from like a season-long perspective. If I go to the wide receivers, I'm not crazy about Parker Washington. I picked him there. Probably should have gone Quentin Johnston, honestly, but 15 games, hits your flex in 5 of them. Showed some ceiling. Probably should have gone Quentin Johnston there. But I'm getting different. I'm not just going to take the same guys every time. I want to maybe I get Trevor Lawrence with my next pick. I don't even think that's necessarily what I want to do, but get different. Buy the most expensive Parker Washington you could ever buy in the 7th round. Almost certainly going to be a letdown. Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas, probably the picks you want. At least Parker Washington hits ceiling outcomes like every season. He got more volume last year than he's had before, but he's always had ceiling outcomes, which is good and kind of what I want to be buying. So Jaguars looked like a pretty good team last year, obviously. There's something there. I think one thing about like JB on that Cook usage, I thought that you would see more Ray Davis last year. It was all Ty Johnson. I think Cook is pretty safe on his usage. I think at least getting the touchdown work too. Yeah, McCaffrey's usage. That's why I think McCaffrey probably could go after guys like Achane and Cook. It's clearly just because the wheels might fall off. But that's kind of the only reason why. Normal for Ramondre. I guess it is. I was thinking it was a little early in this range. I guess it was normal. I kind of lost where I was in the draft for a second there. Man, all the QBs going. Burrow would have been nice instead of Parker Washington. These guys have some QBs, so I might go to push it past 93 to 100. Collar would be a good pick here. He goes, I'm cool with DJ Moore. Maybe like Stafford, Mahomes. Dowdle is okay. I like Wandale. Laporta. Probably a good pick. Coming off the injury, just on a good team. Other wide receivers I like in this range, I guess Juwan Jennings, Butte, Devo, of course KC, Dowdle, and then push. Stafford's still there. I think I just take Stafford. I don't have any Chiefs, obviously. Get him with Devontae. I don't want to wait too long without a quarterback, so I think this is the right time to go Stafford. I'm taking a ton of Stafford. I keep on getting Devontae. I keep on getting Puka, even Kyron, so I'm going to have a lot of Stafford, I guess, even though it's expensive for him. But, I mean, the season he had was pretty incredible. Was it 40 touchdowns? I can't remember. Was it 40 with Stafford? It was 40 touchdowns. Yeah, 46 touchdowns. Does he do that again? Probably not. Do he get like 25 or 30? Maybe. That'd be a letdown. He's not going to run the ball. But I think the spike weeks can still be there where he has like a 4 or 3 touchdown game for him. Every running back, as David, is priced way up and going higher every day. I think it speaks to the lack of quality running backs going late in the draft. You can still get Pollard super late. I mean, Pollard in the 8th round is nice. I'd say I would take Pollard over Monangai, Foreman, and Tootin every single time. Yeah, it's crazy that Pollard falls. People just don't like the Titans. Jeff says, does Aaron Rodgers return next year? I don't know. I think he might retire. And if he does return, maybe he just gets worse and worse of a product. Maybe. It's weird. Maybe he stays with Tomlin gone and he likes that to play with McCarthy. Right? His old head coach on the Packers. Won a Super Bowl with him. So maybe that plays into it. You know, put one and two together. You usually can't push the QBs. Yeah, it can be tough to push the QBs, right? Knicks would have been fun on this team. I don't get Knicks. Wando didn't come back. 1350. And if I picked a tight end here, it would be Kittle. Strange. I don't like him at this price. Ferguson. Debo. I'm going to go Debo first. And then pick 124, 141. It's going to be hard to get Shuck to come back to 140. So I might have to take Shuck a little bit early at 124 to make sure I get him to go with what I think is Love and Olave. Then I'm going more of a late tight end build. I do feel good with my 6 wide receivers, so like it's tempting to go with KC. Probably don't do that. If anything, I need a 4th running back before too much longer. This is just banking on Jeremiah Love being a guy who's always in my lineup, which I think is possible. I'm almost certain I can get Shuck here, right? I'll just pull the trigger. Boom. Tyler Shuck. Welcome to the squad. First Shuck share I've gotten this year. 124 seems expensive for him. We can still get guys like Darnold, Mendoza, Stroud, even Murray later on. So I'll pay the price just for the stack to go with Love and Olave. This is a QB range anyways. These rooms are QB hungry. QBs are going very high. There's not so many going in the first 4 rounds like we saw last year. It's just as soon after that, you know, May goes early. Burrow's fine. Caleb goes super early. Jaden Daniels, I think, and Lamar is actually kind of fine. Hurts seems actually kind of late for him. Herbert way too early. Dart, probably fine. Lawrence and Dak, probably fine. Stafford a little early, but I guess after what we just saw, it's like if he can repeat what he just did, he's a good value where he's going. But anything less than that, it starts to be less attractive. But in this tier with these guys, I think it makes sense. 1 tier ahead of like a Golf Love and Baker. Chuck seems pretty expensive. There's a chance that Woody Marks or Kenny Gainwell are their lead back in their backfield next year. So that's for whatever team Gainwell could play on. And then Marks, I don't know that he becomes like a true workhorse, but if the Texans offensive line gets better and his role stays the same or gets slightly better, I think he can pay off where he's going. I don't take a lot of Marks, but interesting. Gotcha. I got you, JB. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, I think if Achan's environment turns really bad without Mike McDaniel, without Tua, maybe that tanks him a little bit. Cook, he gets vultured, maybe. But I still like him. I think they're first round picks. But I do like the Monroe a lot too. So Monroe's a very nice pick in the first round. I've always liked the Monroe. Darnold goes. Two, 3, 6, 0. I've run out of. I guess I go Kenyon Sadiq again. He's there. Mark Andrews or Hunter Henry. I don't know. I'll take some Kenyon Sadiq. There's some hype around him. 140 seems cheap for a first round tight end. And then if I get one of Mark Andrews or Hunter Henry to come back, I think that could be nice too. The running backs. Yeah, Dobbins just went. I don't even like Dobbins that much. But I guess he's like a safe floor play. I'm running out of options fast at running back. I'm definitely going to take 7. Because I think I just want to go Hunter Henry here. Yeah, I don't really need any other wide receivers at this point. Hunter Henry is a nice piece to go with Sadiq. Who's going to be the top tight end for the Saints if Juwan Johnson's a free agent and doesn't go back? Question mark. I'd be okay with going Mark Andrews at this point. It's so late in the draft. Stowers, yeah. You got to leave with 3 QBs. Yeah, that's part of it too, right? You don't see a lot of 2 QB teams these days. We'll see if Hefe in the 2 spot does. He's only got 1 QB through 13 rounds. He's got Lamar Jackson. Maybe he just feels good with the Derrick Henry-Lamar Jackson combo. I should have known he would take Mark Andrews. To have 3 tight ends before you have a second QB is kind of interesting. Sartain just forgot that tight ends exist. Hashtag tight ends don't matter for the drafter in the 8 spot. He's the only one that doesn't have a tight end. Oh no, the drafter in the 12 spot also does not have a tight end and has 1 QB. Wow. He's got Jackson Dart. I bet he'll go like a late JJ McCarthy with Jefferson, and he could probably do. I guess he did Bryce Young to go with his Coker, but no tight ends. Tight ends not dried up yet, but it's still all right. It gets bad later. I think it's still fine, I guess, to push tight end this late. If you can like double tap or triple tap. Double tap it pretty quick or get 3 kind of in this range. Do I want my 3rd QB right here? Probably not. I feel pretty good with Chuck and Stafford. I need running back. Do I like Benson, Jones, or Charbonnet? Charbonnet, the injury, though, is just... The ACL is so late. I guess this is a fine spot. it's an all right spot to go with Vidal. Would I like Daniel Jones on this team? Maybe. I might take another running back here because it starts to get really bad. Are you guys drafting any Charbonnet at all? Like, I feel like at this time, getting him this late, is it worth it? I have 2 injured players. Are you guys taking Charbonnets in the 170s? I haven't clicked them yet. Like, should I just take Rachaad White instead? Who's actually healthy? Rachaad White over Charbonnet. I'll let it hit Charbonnet. I haven't clicked him yet. 20 picks past ADP. Obviously worried about the injury. Rachaad White's a free agent. Maybe he's just another backup somewhere and people are kind of out on him. No Charbs? Ah, fuck. Second too late. Appreciate the late response, Who Hames. I mean, if Charbonnet was healthy, he's a good click there. Injured, it's just, yeah, it's tough. Technically, Charbonnet was more usable last year than Ken Walker was, but people don't want to realize that. At the same time, Ken Walker's going to play a lot more early in the season, we assume, with Charbonnet out. Charbonnet, the ACL happened, can he come back 8 months out from that? Puts him into August. And then he's like, I don't know, maybe he's still usable at the end of the season next year. Yeah. The delay is, I know, with a 20-second pick clock, it's impossible. It's impossible. But it's like, do I take Daniel Jones, Achilles, Charbonnet, ACL, Singleton, broken foot? There's no truly obvious choice in round 15. I needed a running back. I could have taken Rachaad White. He's not the most impressive. Even when he was his own starter for a while, he did nothing with it. Had one okay game. Pretty big letdown. Dobbins, it's your flex, but never has a blow-up game. Always somewhere between 10 to 15 points. Pretty underwhelming. Okay. I have not been able to get Terrence Ferguson yet. This is probably the spot just to take him and be done at tight end and assume that he's good. At the same time, I could have taken some cheap Torrey Horton. He goes the next pick, or some Penix. I did it. I'm done with tight end. I don't like how Ferguson looks on this, but at least he's stacked up. So, I forgot the Vele. Okay, after this pick, I got to tell you guys the Vele story. So Vele is still there. You won't see me drafting him. Late wide receiver seems okay. I only need one more. I just go Penix here. He's not going to be stacked. I don't have any other really good stacking options. Nothing sticks out to me as obvious. Get QB over with. Get that third guy. Okay, so in my home league, my managed league with my high school friends, we're in year whatever. Been a long time. And not this current year, not like the last year we just had, but 2 years ago in fantasy, I am in a, make it or break it week. In week, what would that be, like week 14 to go into the playoffs? I'm trying to get the 6th seed spot in our 10-team league. I pick up and I start Devon Vele in my flex. I think the Broncos played a Sunday night game that week or a Monday game. And what it came down to was all of our players had finished. He has the lead with 2 points, and I need Vele to get more than 2 points. Vele catches a pass in the very first drive. He's at like 1.5 points or something like that. He never catches another freaking ball the rest of the game. So essentially that's what happened. I lose. I don't make the playoffs because I picked up Devon Vele on the Broncos, started him in my flex in our half point per reception home league, managed league, the ultimate letdown. I mean, anyone else on my team also could have scored more points. It was just the fact that I went out of my way. I was like, oh, Vele's been getting 5, 6, 7 receptions a game lately. Let's start this guy. Terrible backfire. So he's pretty much on my do not draft list. He just burned me. Rabona says, am I doing another draft after this? I have to see. I have to stretch a little bit. Let's see. Let's finish this one up, and then I'm gonna maybe potentially. This is the 3rd draft of the night. It is only 11 Central Time where I'm at. It's not super late. I need another running back or 2. Emmanuel Wilson's fine. Ray Davis is okay. I really hate all these running back picks. I wish I took more running backs earlier every time. And you guys are telling me Charbonnet was not the move. So I'll just take Emmanuel Wilson, free agent. He's got some juice. Late receiver should be okay. I'm not going Vele. He's gone. Devin Neal makes some sense. Even if I think Love is a Saint, Devin Neal makes some sense. But it's like Kendre Miller's there. Or is he a free agent? Estime, I don't know. The status is. Devin Neal didn't do too much. Probably go Devin Neal over Ray Davis. Because of this. He's on the Saints. I guess I'm going to just do that. Just go Devin Neal. And then I didn't figure this out. Is Mooney still a free agent? Or is Mooney a free agent? Or is he still on the Falcons? Because if he's on the Falcons, I might as well go Mooney. My last pick. Mooney is not a free agent. 3-year deal, that's right, in 2024. So he played in 24, played in 25. He's under contract for 26. That's right. Mooney's a fine last round pick. We were taking Mooney. I was taking a lot of Mooney last big board. And he was like pick 90, pick 100. So pick 120. Mooney goes. Nice. Shout out to, it was David, right? David's in the 10th spot. Yeah. David gets Mooney. Yeah. Broncos wide receivers will let you down. Oh, you looked it up? It's true? See, yeah, week 13, 2024, Vele, 1 catch, 16 yards. It must have been Sunday Night Football or like Monday, because it was, or even if it was just the late window, it was late enough that we didn't have any other players for whatever reason that were remaining, like player minutes remaining. So I just remember being extra hurt by that. Yeah, what's up, Bill? How we doing, brother? Probably gonna be cut. Oh, Mooney to save some money. Maybe that's what I was talking about last draft. That Who Hames was talking about someone getting cut to save money. Maybe that was Mooney. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy blew up that game. No, no worries. David, draft your team, brother. Draft your team. We all got to fight for our own. I'm not really worried if I get sniped. I've got plenty of options. Flournoy is still available. Oh, no. He's gone too. Let me figure out who I want. Do I want Bateman as a last round pick? God, he's so bad. Maybe. How can I do nothing with the Rams, nothing with the Saints, nothing with the Falcons? I can find a pick. Come on. At least Leggett. Even Naylor. Naylor's kind of a funny one. Tez Johnson's kind of interesting. I think Tez Johnson. I liked some of his ceiling games. I guess I could have gone Leggett to go with... no, nothing. I didn't have any Panthers. I've not been drafting a lot of Panthers. Bateman didn't make sense. Naylor go. Look, the guys I had queued up, Bateman and Naylor both go. How funny is that? I think Naylor's a fine last round pick in 20 rounds. Naylor was better than Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison last season. Embarrassing. He had a bigger spike week than both of them. And that's what matters in best ball, the spike weeks. I mean, Justin Jefferson was getting you 9 points. What is that good for? Tez Johnson can hit. We saw his big touchdown receptions. That's kind of fun. Whatever happens with Evans, McMillan, Godwin, and Igbuka are going to get a lot of it. They play 3 wide. Tez Johnson can still factor in enough to hit the lineup once. That's all you're really asking for. 3773 build. Stafford, Shuck, Penix. I took a lot of Stafford tonight. I took Stafford with Puka in the first draft, right? And then the second, or no, I missed out. I got sniped on Stafford, but I had Puka. I took him with Devontae Adams in each of the last 2 drafts. No other Rams, though. Not a whole lot of team stacking going on, except for Shuck. I think I've got him with Jeremiah Love, who I think is going to be a Saint, and then Devin Neal, and also with Chris Olave. Michael Penix to go with no Falcons at all, but maybe just a good pick around pick 200. Jeremiah Love, RJ Harvey, Jalen Warren, Kamani Vidal, the injured Zach Charbonnet, Manny Wilson, free agent Devin Neal. Probably needs some help here at the running back. If Kamani Vidal can get a starting job, that would help a lot. Charbonnet comes back sooner than we think. Maybe Wilson can be a 1B somewhere or just a solid backup. If Devin Neal can hit the lineup even once, it's good. And then Jeremiah Love's got to be the guy you need in a future first-round pick next season. Maybe top 5 pick. Chase, Olave, Adams feels solid. Parker Washington, I'm not crazy about. I almost wish I did take Quentin Johnston instead, but it's fine. I got to mix it up every once in a while. I like DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore's fine where he's going. Good ceiling outcomes. Same thing with Debo. Tez Johnson's fun. I just talked about that. Kenyon Sadiq, I've clicked him twice tonight. I don't even know. I probably like Hunter Henry better, but I did get Hunter Henry the very next round. And then Terrence Ferguson, just all potential there. And at least he's stacked up. Let's look at David's team in the 10 spot. Mooney looks washed. I know, that was weird, wasn't it? Ravens are live to draft Bateman's replacement round 1. I guess they could. I don't think I've seen the Ravens mocked to taking a wide receiver in the first round. I have seen the Ravens, I guess, taking like defensive players. I'd have to double check that, but I definitely have not seen the Ravens mock to any wide receivers. It's possible though. Let's see. I'm excited to see what Who Hames is cooking up. More on that. Yeah, some Who Visions. That's always true. Always true. It's getting late. Okay, so Tesla Shock. A 3, 5, 10, 2 build. Wow. 10 wide receivers. I have not drafted a team with 10 wide receivers in a minute. Let's see how he did it. Knicks, Goff, Murray. So let's just assume Murray is the starter at the Jets, gets moved to the Jets, or no, because actually Brees Hall's not even there anymore. Brees Hall is going to most likely go somewhere else. So maybe Murray goes to, I don't know, Dolphins or Browns. What would make sense? Brees Hall, a free agent. Javante, a good pick, I think, even at ADP. Little bit of a dip on QJ there. QJ goes pick 63, so nice little snag. Tyrone Tracy, why not? Brian Robinson, sure. Solid, solid 4. We need QJ to be healthy, and we need Brees to land somewhere good. Amon Ra, the QBs that's stacked up with golf. I like that. Garrett Wilson's a nice pick. QJ's a nice pick. KC's a great pick. Franklin's a great pick and stacked up with Knicks. Tesla for the double stack with golf. That's the way to do it. Get some Marvin Mims. Why not? Zachariah Branch. I don't know enough about him. He's from Georgia, right? Seems okay. Rookie prospect. Could go in the second round. Chris Brazel. Not too sure about yet either. And then Kyle Pitts and Trey McBride. So getting 2 tight ends early kind of makes sense to stop at 2. Sure. I think that's fair. And I don't know. Maybe there's just not any other running backs that you liked. And so you just hammered some of these like Branch and Brazel. You just like those rookies, throw them on there. I think you probably could have been good with 8 or 9 wide receivers and maybe just take one extra running back for some depth or one extra tight end for some depth. But I like the stacking with the Lions and the Broncos. And I actually that tight end combo is pretty sick. You got McBride at 15. We saw in the last draft, we saw McBride go at pick 20, which hurt to see him fall that much. Was just not great. Malachi Fields gets drafted. You know, someone we're not seeing drafted ever is another Fields, Justin Fields. He's going completely undrafted, 9th round pick last year. What a letdown. Very disappointing. You hate to see it. Got some videos coming out. Looking forward to it, Hoot Hames. Thanks for being here, brother. Get some rest. Oh, Donta Fit. Shout out. What's up, brother? Donta. What's up? In the 3 spot. Well, I hope I didn't talk too much shit about your team. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a great weekend, brother. No, I like this team. I didn't talk shit about this team at all. Let's take a quick look. Oh, of course. Donita. Jalen Hurts, sick. Baker, good. QB2. Shador, totally fine pick. QB3 at price, of course. Gibbs, yes. Chase Brown, nice. Brooks, wow. So after Gibbs and Brown, a big gap to going Brooks. But if he's even, something like what Dowdle showed last year would be I guess a nice, a really nice outcome. If he's even like a Corum or a Monin guy, it's a good outcome. So I want to get some more Brooks. I've taken him a little bit. Benson, interesting. Keaton Mitchell, why not? Only 3.593. I'm interested to see who like your 8th and 9th receivers are. I might just go one more running back for some depth, but this could work. It's pretty hyper fragile around Gibbs and Brown. And then Brooks being a guy would make a huge difference here. Benson could land anywhere. Same thing with Mitchell. Devonta Smith stacked. I like that. Waddle's a good pick. Harrison's nice. Pittman, pretty cheap. Godwin, pretty cheap. Downs. I bet you were looking for you could have been looking for Daniel Jones late, and then he went on the other side of the board. So then you end up with Shador. I think that makes sense. Jalen McMillan's a fun pick. So you got some lean into the Bucks. Torrey Horton, a great pick. Rashad Bateman, who knows? Why not? And then Brock Bowers, Aronde Gadsden, and Stowers. I like those. The 3rd year in Bowers, the 2nd year for Gadsden, and the rookie year for Stowers. Very interesting. I don't know. I like your receivers, actually. And you needed some depth because you kind of waited a little bit to start with those guys. But I'd probably, what does Bateman do for this team? Maybe just like Bateman. I don't know if there's any other running backs you liked in that range, but I would just think maybe a 6 running back for a little bit more cushion, considering you took Brooks at pick 166. kind of a barbell approach at running back, but I like this team. It's a fun one. Like compared to last year where we were taking Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith, it's like you get a nice deal on that stack. Dante, I got you. Dante makes sense. Brooks, Benson, very fun. I think so. I think so. I mean, I don't Benson didn't wow me last year. We didn't get a big sample size. I've never been a huge Benson guy. I was more on Benson going into his rookie season. Um, I was more on Benson then, and like last year, I was pretty out on Benson. But I was also pretty in on James Conner, and it just came down to injuries. But we saw like a lot of the Cardinals running backs got some run, and a lot of them looked decently good, like a flex kind of position, like fill in, like given some run. So it's not the worst spot to be for a running back. But also, Benson's gonna be somewhere. Yeah, the Baker with Godwin and then Jalen McMillan. I like that. Nuketown kid, what's up, my man? What happened to Joe Mixon? Oh, no idea. No idea with Mixon. I heard something about that today too. I'm in Houston, Texans fan. I see a lot of all these like Twitter accounts. There's one that's called 713 Sports, and they had some video and they had some transcribed text on Twitter. I saw it yesterday or today or something, and then just very ambiguous. The coach. I don't think Mixon comes back to the Texans. I think he's gone. They cut him or something, or they figure out a way to injury release him. I don't know how that works out, but very interesting. James Conner is a guy though. I want to get some more James Conner on my teams. I guess here, like where is he? He's going up around pick 150, isn't he? Even here he goes 145. I feel like he's not a bad pick in this range. What do you have to risk? Like Alvin Kamara is dust. I don't want any Alvin Kamara on my teams. I think Aaron Jones is not the worst pick, but the Vikings are in shambles without Sam Darnold. So I do like I think Brooks is pretty fun. I've been taking more of a doll. I could have gone Brooks there, I guess. I probably take too much of a doll. And then I took Charbonnet. I don't know, but like, do I take Dylan Sampson over Charbonnet? Maybe that's the play. Maybe that. Look where Blue went in this one. Very interesting. Blue going pick 184. Who are you? Me from last year? My bags of Jaden Blue. Yeah, weird stuff. Weird stuff with Mixon. I have no idea. We'll kind of see how that one plays out. Um, I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna go chill with the wife for the last few minutes of the night and then get some rest. I told you guys I played 2 hours of basketball earlier, so I'm like beat. My feet hurt so bad. My dogs are barking. So I got to get out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week and a nice Sunday. I'll see you Monday for Ballsy with Bindles. He and I are going to be drafting Monday, and then make sure you tune in on Wednesdays for the PGA best ball streams if you're into that. Otherwise, I'll catch y'all in another draft real soon. Peace out.